In a stunning reversal, the Supreme Court overturned Gavin Smith's 4 murder convictions. He was just 16 years old when he shot and killed his entire family. The reason? To be with his girlfriend. Now it's back to square one for the state and defense, as the High Court has ruled that the judge may have given the jury flawed instructions that stacked the odds against a fair verdict. And as a grandfather continues to grieve, he says justice for his family and forgiveness for his grandson remain a heavy daily burden.
Mr. Saunders, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you would, you can state your full name and your relationship to the victim. And like I said, just keep your comments, try to keep your comments about 3 minutes or less and directed to the board. And you can go ahead whenever you're ready.
All right, my name is Timothy Saunders, and I was the father and the grandfather to Risa and the boys. I live this every day, every night. Every night I lay down to go to sleep. I'll wake up after about an hour or two, wide awake, and hoping that it's just been a nightmare, and that when I wake up, they're back here. And it happened.
That's how Timothy Saunders describes the haunting weight of every day since December 13th, 2020. The burden of finding the bodies of his daughter, Risa, her husband, Daniel, and his grandson, 12-year-old Gage. He didn't find his youngest grandson, Jameson, before calling for help.
4 days, my family laid up there in the whole cold, dreary house. Laid there.
The 3-year-old had been shot while hiding under a bed.
Do it.
This video is the last time he'd hear his daughter and grandson's voices.
You're so cute.
I feel guilty every day. And I failed them.
How do you feel like you failed them, though?
Well, I should have seen it. See, little things here and there, which I didn't. I've never thought that he would do something like this. So I failed them. I failed these 3 right here in front, and I failed Gavin, and I failed myself.
Now he lives in a world of crushing grief, full of questions that will never have answers, like how he continues to love Gavin, his only surviving grandson, the one who pulled the trigger.
Like you told me, you think Risa would want you to do what you could to help him in any way.
Yeah, because she loves her kids. But I still love you. But I don't know. People judge me. They can judge me. Until they're in my shoes, they don't need to say nothing.
Gavin Smith was 16 when he shot and killed them. On a video call encouraging him to carry out their plan so they could be together was his girlfriend, Rebecca Walker. She took a plea deal to accessory to murder that sent her to prison for 10 years. She's been up for parole twice.
You stated that you hid your boyfriend from police after he killed his family. You stated you encouraged him to shoot his mom, stepdad, and his 2 brothers, the youngest being 3 years old. You told him to kill them because they did not want you to be with the boyfriend. And you told your co-defendant to cut the 3-year-old's throat first and then told him to shoot the 3-year-old, and he did. And at the time, you said you were happy about these crimes, that he killed him. You showed no remorse and you took no responsibility. Is all that correct?
Yes.
Saunders holds Walker just as responsible for the murders. Her plea deal, which spared her from the possibility of 4 first-degree murder convictions, feels like a betrayal, a deal that allowed her to escape the full weight of her responsibility, all for her cooperation and testimony against Smith, who had already confessed.
Becca shouldn't have got a plea deal. She was as guilty as Gavin was. She just didn't pull the trigger, but she put him up to it. She egged him on to it. She should never, ever get out. She should be in there for the rest of her life.
It was Walker's testimony during Smith's first trial in December 2022 that snowballed into grounds for an appeal. She told the jury she could have been sentenced to life in prison if she didn't take the deal. The state was concerned the jury would think Smith was looking at a lifetime sentence too. But under West Virginia law, juveniles are automatically eligible to see the parole board after 15 years. This eventually led Judge Kenneth Ballard, over objection from the defense, to give the jury instructions about sentencing and parole, something the Supreme Court ruled was not for the jury to decide, a decision that would eventually overturn the convictions and set the stage for this new trial.
What was Gavin's reaction when he found out there'd be another trial?
He just said that he didn't feel like he wanted to go through with it again. Because he tries to, I assume, and I don't know, keep it out of his mind or it drives him crazy.
He still talks to his grandson. The conversations are brief. Visits, he says he's just not ready.
Probably never go see him because I don't know if I can stay seeing him. He's asked me to do the phone things. I'll talk to you on the phone, but I don't know if I'm not if I'm ready to see you or not, Gavin.
With a new trial now looming, he knows his lifelong sentence will continue, regardless of what a new jury decides for his grandson, regardless of how many parole board hearings he calls into.
And yes, I'm very bitter. I'm very hurt. She was my only daughter, and it was my only grandkids. To try to live alone every day and see what I seen when I walked in and see my family laying there, blood everywhere, and all dead. Just do that. Just picture it. Instead of being on the phone, tell somebody, go ahead and kill him, cut his throat. I just like to get my hands on you. But anyways, I appreciate the time that you all gave me to speak. She should never get out.
Gavin Smith is 21 years old now. He'll be back in court tomorrow before Judge Kenneth Ballard, where it's likely a new trial date will be set. As for Rebecca Walker, she's expected to be released from prison at the end of this year after serving half of that 10-year sentence. Reporting at the West Virginia Supreme Court, Leslie Rubin, Eyewitness News.